Welcome to another episode on Beyond the Sex Talk. My name's Lisa. My goal is to provide non-judgmental, sex-positive knowledge and skills so individuals can make healthy, confident sexual decisions. Continuing on with the theme this month of May, masturbation, we're going to talk about how to talk about masturbation, especially to children. So this episode is for really the adults and parents out there that have young children in their lives. Self-love, self-pleasure, solo act, menage a moi, whacking off, beating off, jerking off, paddling the pink canoe, pocket pinball, testing the pipes, teasing the kitty, spanking the monkey, fondling the genitals. No matter what you call masturbation, it is one of the few activities that almost everyone does. And that's great and normal. On previous episodes, we talked about the health benefits, some things to be concerned about, as well as arousal. But here, we're going to talk about talking about it. There are reports that young children, even before the age of 5, may touch their genitals. And we know that this has nothing to do about sex or sexuality. It is more of a comfort. But research shows that between the ages of 5 and 9, that children tend to hide the act of touching their genitals. And that's okay, it's normal. What we do need to focus on is how are we going to talk about it? Doctors report that many parents say that their children are doing that because they're bored. Guess what? It's also normal. What we need to focus on is how do we make sure that we're giving a subtle message to them that masturbation is not to be shameful. It's good, it's healthy, but we need to make sure we're building the boundaries, healthy and safe boundaries for them. I help out parents and I get them to practice certain phrases that help them talk or start the conversation. For example, sometimes it may start like, hey, that's okay, but that's something that we do in private. Or, I understand that that feels good, but that's something that we do in our rooms, in private. Now, in both of these situations, we do need to define what private means. For example, private means we don't expose our genitals or play or rub or touch our genitals when we're at school, with our friends, and sometimes when it's family night. If those phrases are just enough to start that dialogue and your child finds everything okay and moves on, great. For some parents, they're not really comfortable with those phrases and they may need some assistance. That's okay. There are great books, such as this one, Boys, Girls, and Body Science, as well as It's Not the Stork. These books are not just age appropriate, they also provide dialogue as well as pictures to help assist in that conversation between you and your child. I will put the books down below in the description, as well as you can follow on my Facebook and Instagram where I share more resources such as these. Another great question that I do get from parents is, are there times when parents really do need to worry about masturbation? Yes. If it involves other children without their consent, then you need to be concerned about the act. This is also a moment to understand that consent is about asking permission and being allowed to choose whether you want to partake or not partake, and respecting that decision. A second concern would be if a child persistently masturbates. This may be a sign that there is some high stress levels going on with the child. And we're not sure. So you may want to start talking with a doctor or asking very simple questions to see if there's any mental health issues or physical abuse or sexual abuse going on. Another concern would be if a child is having a hard time distinguishing appropriate behavior in public, and that would be indicating that there's something else going on, that they can't understand social cues or social environments. Again, I would consult with your doctor. For the most part, masturbation is a healthy way to self-care. It is low risk sexual activity that if it starts at a young age, that's great. And if it doesn't, and they start during puberty and in their teenage times, that's great too. It's a low risk sexual activity that allows the child to explore their body and learn what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Thank you for joining in. You can follow me on my Facebook page and Instagram page for more topics, tips, and resources. There's going to be more videos coming with information, resources, tips for everyone. Subscribe below and share the videos out. Until next time.